The woman was horrified to discover that her newborn child had been cruelly thrown into the pool by a eunuch. She was so shocked that she almost screamed, but she forcibly held it back, because she knew this was all part of the emperor's scheme. A few hours ago, after enduring countless hardships, she had finally given birth to the emperor's heir. Little did she expect that the emperor, under the guise of showing concern, would make her drink a sleeping potion. Once she fell into a deep sleep, he secretly swapped her child, but he had no idea that she was once a legendary warrior, and the effects of the drug wore off quickly. Still weak from childbirth, she woke up just in time to witness her child being drowned. She wanted nothing more than to rush out and take revenge for her baby, but she forced herself to stay calm. She was still too weak, and her powerful family army was far from the palace, so she had no choice but to endure for now and secretly investigate the emperor's motives. Just as she pretended to fall back asleep, the scheming concubine quietly entered her chamber, out of jealousy, because not only was the woman from a more prestigious family, but her child was also chosen as the crown prince. The concubine planned to swap her own baby with the future heir while the woman slept, but what she didn't know was that the woman had been awake the whole time. In order to uncover both the emperor's and the concubine's schemes, she decided to keep the secret in her heart. 18 years passed in the blink of an eye to raise the concubine's son and use him for her revenge. The woman spared no effort. She provided him with the best resources and taught him all the martial arts she had mastered in her lifetime. Under her guidance, he became both a scholar and a warrior, and held deep admiration and gratitude for her. On the day of his coming-of-age ceremony, the scheming concubine showered the woman's son with affection, going to great lengths to prepare luxurious attire for him. Meanwhile, she looked at the son she had raised with nothing but disdain, because she believed that he was actually the woman's child. For 18 years, she had treated him with cruelty, beating and scolding him constantly, making his life worse than that of a servant. She wanted to use this moment to humiliate the woman and satisfy her own vanity, but little did she know, neither of these boys were actually the woman's child. At that moment, the emperor arrived to host the ceremony. He asked both sons to write about their vision for governing the country, based on the meaning of their own names. The second prince immediately began writing, while the fourth prince could barely hold his brush, not even knowing how to write his own name. Before long, the second prince finished his essay, and the scheming concubine secretly rejoiced. Meanwhile, the fourth prince sat there, unable to write a single word. Seeing this disgrace to the royal family, the emperor assumed that the palace tutors had been negligent in their duties to prevent her secret from being exposed. The scheming concubine quickly stepped in to explain. She scolded the fourth prince, calling him foolish and indulgent, blaming his laziness for his inability to even write his own name. Outraged by the humiliation, the emperor immediately ordered that the fourth prince be taken away and given 80 harsh cane strikes as punishment. The woman couldn't bear to see him suffer, so she secretly arranged for an imperial physician to treat his wounds that very night. But the scheming concubine refused to let the physician inside, and instead had a maid send them away. As the fourth prince lay in agony, his wounds burning with unbearable pain, the scheming concubine brought over a bowl of salt. She sprinkled it over his torn flesh, and in an instant, the pain was so excruciating that he passed out on the spot.